nice to be to say like, oh, I wouldn't have done it that way. When I was digging a hole, people were like, oh, I wouldn't have dug straight down. I would have done this, and then other people were like, of course I would dig straight down. My brain works like Sean does. And then an absolute war breaks.
Bring a friend for free.
Like, watch this. One piece of shit. No, I don't actually think one piece of shit, but people are going to cut that out of context.
Fruit, making olive oil a kind of fruit juice, which sounds weird, but I don't recommend swigging a whole glass like you would maybe a glass of passion fruit juice.
I have thought about it.
Have you?
I have thought about it.
You've only thought about
it.
It might help with the pollen that is all over the place at the moment. It might help smooth out some of the rough edges. Okay, olives are a fruit, making olive oil a kind of fruit juice, and like all fruit juices, olive oil is at its peak of flight. Not gonna be able to read today, apparently.
No, you got that.
Like all fruit juices, olive oil is at its peak of flavor and nutritional potency when it's fresh pressed. But most supermarket olive oils sit on the shelf for months or even years, growing stale, dull, flavorless, even rancid. The solution is to have fresh pressed artisanal olive oil shipped directly to you after each new harvest, when the oil's flavor and nutrients are at their peak. Once again, go to getfreshdarkhorse.com and get a bottle of one of the world's finest artisanal olive oils, fresh from the new harvest for just $1. Fresh Pressed Olive Oil Club is the brainchild of T.J. Robinson. Also known as the Olive Oil Hunter, he brings the freshest, most flavorful, nutrient-rich olive oils from harvest to your door. Olive oil is, of course, a cornerstone of Mediterranean diets, but if you've never had excellent fresh olive oil, you may wonder what all the fuss is about. T.J.'s Farm Fresh oils are incredible. That is where the flavor is, and TJ's Farm Fresh olive oils are amazingly flavorful and distinct from one another. We've used several different varietals now across a wide array of delicious foods, as marinades on meat, for roasting vegetables, fresh in salads or drizzled on cold soups or on freshly grilled halloumi cheese. We have made olive oil cake, an Italian pesto, and a Venezuelan green sauce rich in cilantro. Every single varietal we've had is superb, and the health benefits of olive oil are extensive. From being high in antioxidants to helping prevent Alzheimer's, this is a fabulous, flavorful fat that you'll never want to run out of. As an introduction to T.J. Robinson's Fresh Pressed Olive Oil Club, he will send you a full-size $49 bottle of one of the world's finest medicinal olive oils, fresh from the new harvest, for just $1
I was just making
to
sure it
help
was him
cover
and not
shipping.
some strange bird outside.
There's no commitment to buy anything now or ever. Get your free $49 bottle for just $1 shipping and taste the difference freshness makes. Go to getfreshdarkhorse.com. That's getfreshdarkhorse.com for a free bottle and pay just $1 in shipping.
I don't understand how anybody passes up that deal. It's actually, they put aside a limited quantity of these bottles, and you can get one for almost nothing, and why wouldn't you? I mean, and it also tells you something about everything else they do, because they are banking on the fact that having tried it, you are very likely to want more.
Yeah, that's no obligation. So now you decide you don't have to.
Yep.
Fantastic stuff. Our last sponsor this week is Clear. Clear is a nasal spray that supports respiratory health. It's widely available online and in stores, and both it and the company that makes it are fantastic. It's Clear. That's Xlear, but it's pronounced Clear. Throughout history, improvements in sanitation and hygiene have had huge impact on human longevity and quality of life,
gets to do the
more so
Google
than
art.
traditional medical advances. For instance,
You know,
when
every
doctors
day how
started to
they
wash
have
their
a
hands
different,
between
like
handling
today they
cadavers and
have
helping
the
women
Route
give birth,
66
the rate of
sign.
maternal deaths went way down. Breathing clean
Yeah,
air
or
and
if they
drinking cleaner
do,
water had hugely negative effects
yeah, if
on
it's
human health.
Valentine's Day,
Clean up the air and
they'll
water,
make the
local
O's
health.
like hearts, but it's
Nasal hygiene often
artistic. You
gets
can tell like
overlooked, but
somebody's,
consider that the
I
majority
don't
of
know if
bacteria and
somebody's
viruses that
drawing
make us
them or
sick
they're
enter through our mouth and nose.
AI
It has
generated
become a
or
cultural norm to wash
combination
our
of
hands
both.
in order to help stop the spread of disease from person to person, but it's rare that we get sick through our hands.
They have today. They
Rather,
have
we
the
get sick
Route
through our mouth and
66
nose. So
sign,
shouldn't we be using
historic
something
Route
that we know blocks
66,
bacterial and viral adhesion in the nose?
and then on the
Enter
G
Clear.
and the
Clear is a
L.
nasal spray that contains
What is
xylitol,
that
or
on the
xylitol,
L
if you
and the
want.
G?
The
See those
pronunciation
little?
Never heard of xylitol, but
Is that like the wheels on the
Xylitol,
bottom of a
X, like
chair?
Clear, it's with an X, is a 5-carbon
I can't
sugar
tell.
alcohol. Our bodies naturally contain 5 carbon
have
sugars,
to look
mostly in
at
the
it.
form of ribose and deoxyribose, which are the backbone sugars in RNA
Zoom
and
in
DNA.
on it.
Xylitol is known to reduce how sticky bacteria and viruses are to our tissues. In the presence of xylitol, bacteria and viruses, including strep, SARS-CoV-2, and RSV, don't adhere to our airways.
We need to stop
which helps our body's
trafficking of
natural defense
fentanyl.
mechanism
We've
to
had
easily flush
serious
Clear is a
issues.
simple
Susan
nasal
Collins
spray.
successfully
Use it
fought
one
to
unit
give
in
law
just 3
enforcement the
seconds.
critical
Fast,
tools they need to combat fentanyl traffickers.
Thank you, Senator Collins, for delivering when it matters most.
Angel Soft. Well, it's gotta be soft.
It's gotta be strong. Angel Soft is both.
Angel Soft sucks.
The Joe Rogan
it's mealy.
Observations about stuff. And like I said,
Recognize that things change.
yeah. And
But
like
look, sub-Saharan Africa used to be lush greenlands. I mean, they find whale bones in sub-Saharan Africa in the desert. In the desert, they find whale skeletons in the desert, way before there were cars.
Right.
Okay, way before there were plastic and power plants. So the Earth's climate has never been
Why is
static.
it comical?
But the Machu Picchu thing is,
It's
I
Joe
really
Rogan.
want
He
to go
just
there.
posted this,
My friend Luke Caverns,
an
who's been on the
hour
podcast
ago.
before, he's
Holy
studied
crap.
a
I've been 3 times.
Yeah,
Has he really?
As a kid, that's what I meant. Like,
Oh, his family's from.
yeah. So they're like,
Yeah.
it's a 1-hour flight from Lima, and then just take the train.
I've never
But, like,
seen it shoot from like 10
Yeah, it's
to
pretty
14,000.
much. So you're
that
saying it
quick.
wasn't even the Aztecs? Is that what you told me?
Well, that's
Ooh, the
yeah,
Aztecs.
that's the Incas. You're
Incas,
talking about the
Incas.
I
Yeah,
love that
it wasn't.
saying, the
They don't
Aztecs.
think it
That's
was.
fun.
They think the initial
like a
monolithic
Mayan.
structures or megalithic structures were
You know,
an
the
earlier,
Aztecs,
previously
what are their
unknown
colors? Is it
civilization
blue and
because
yellow?
That they took over.
the size and scope of their structures, the way they build it. And Graham Hancock has gone
Yeah,
over
they're
this as
known, I
well.
think, for their
Is so
masonry.
much different than the stuff that's on top of it.
They're a
So what
dominant
happens is you have this old
Mesoamerican
stuff that's
culture. They built
enormous
powerful
stones
empires
that are cut
from its
like
capital.
jigsaws, right?
Yeah.
And almost like it's melted, like the way it looks. It
You
almost like
can't
it's
put a piece of paper through it
Located
after
on
200
an island
years
in
of like
Lake
breakdowns. You
Texas.
still
way
can't
more than
put it.
200
Yeah.
years. It's thousands of years. But the thing that's really
Texcoco.
nutty about it is that design is
TXCOCO,
because
it's a
when they have
city in modern-day
earthquakes,
Mexico.
that way it won't fall off.
Oh, it's
Right, so
Mexico
it
City
disperses the
today.
energy better
They used
as
to call
opposed to
Mexico
stacking
City
stuff on top of
Texcoco?
each other. That stuff falls,
No
but
shit.
when it's all interlocked
Learn
in these
something
weird
new every
forms,
day.
like that shit.
Yeah. So Che Guevara talks about it a little bit, where he
Known
goes,
for a
so
strict
Cusco is
social
the gem
hierarchy,
of
complex
South
religion
America. It was
involving
the- it was
ritual
the border
sacrifices,
of the Andes before
advanced
coming to trade and
agriculture.
everything. And you see this, and the Christians would come in, take over, and
China
build like
pause.
facades on it, put
Right.
a cross on top, to be like, look what we did, we're more dominant than these people.
Chinampas.
And an earthquake could come,
Chinampas.
facade would fall,
And
just
rapid
remains
military
over
expansion.
and
They
over and over
ruled
again, over
millions
again. These
before
aren't even
falling to the
squares.
Spanish
Look at it's like
conquistadors,
Tetris.
Yeah,
led
it's
by
so cool. And that was
Cortez
on
in
purpose. They
1521.
did that because that what
To
would,
bastard
what
it
would
up.
survive. But if you look at the stuff above it,
Well, how
that's the
fucking
stuff
far
the
you want
Incas
to go
made.
back,
So the
Bill?
Incas made this stuff. It's like it's all just stacked.
Don't.
It's
Never
not as
mind all this
sophisticated, and also not as
fentanyl
large because they didn't have the technology.
that they're
Whatever the
trying
fuck
to
these
worry
people had,
about.
that was
Look how
enabled.
big that
We're
rock
getting
is.
psychedelics
I mean,
approved, man.
hundreds,
Joe,
thousands of
Joe, that
tons.
already
I mean, these
happened.
things are fucking enormous. The really crazy one is the Lebanon
You
ones.
didn't. Nothing changed.
Lebanon.
What
Been
changed,
there.
Joe?
Wait, no,
Have you?
What
Jordan,
changed?
I'm talking about.
Something's
So in Lebanon,
different.
they have these massive stones. What are they called, Jamie? The
He's so
Trilithon
funny.
stones?
He's so funny.
So there's these
Come on,
stones
guys.
that are
Figure
like
out how they
more
built
than
those
1,000
goddamn pyramids, and
tons.
don't you come
And
back
they're
until
like
you figure it
several
out.
meters above the ground placed, and then on top of them, you have these
10
Roman
lashings
structures.
each.
Oh, right.
So if you see like there, like that click that where you had your cursor, yeah.
That
Look at the
guy,
size of
oh,
that
he's
guy.
funny. He's
Wow.
a he's
And
a
look at the
very
size of
rich
that
guy.
stone.
He grew up rich.
Like,
just
and then
kind
you
of
see the
traveled
stuff on top
around
of it
on
is
mom and dad's
smaller.
Credit
It's not
cards, visiting.
sophisticated.
He's a good
And then
guy.
you
I'm
had the
not saying
Roman. You have
anything. I
to think
didn't say it
about
was
the
a bad
Romans.
thing.
Is
I'm just saying
Romans had
that's
meticulous record
who he
keeping,
is.
and they talked about all the construction
It's
of
one
all
of
the different
Joe's
things they had. They
friends.
don't even mention those stones.
So it was
they don't
them.
mention how they made. No, I don't think it was them. I think it
Is
was a
that
previous
Ari?
civilization. Look at that fucking
Is
thing.
either-
Oh, bro, I'm about to, Nazca lines?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
that's,
Oh yeah.
there's a
saw 'em.
lot of them,
Oh,
dude.
did you?
Yeah, I flew over
It's
them.
pretty much
Bro,
how they all
weird is that?
grew up.
They're
Rich
so
kids,
big,
their
you
moms
can't,
are all
the pictures won't do it
activists.
justice,
Heavily
because you'll see,
connected
like,
to
a
the drug
road, they
trafficking
didn't know,
lines
because
we've
from the
been
ground
talking
level, you
about.
can't see any of it.
Yeah,
And so
Yeah,
they
the
just built
state
these roads in
workers
the
and the
desert. And so you
targeting.
can see a car sometimes.
Nazis,
Like, so
and
it's
they
for
know what we're
perspective.
talking
And then you're like,
about.
it's this
And they're
dot
absolutely
on this
disgusted and
giant
disturbed
monkey
at how some people
in the middle of
lie.
the desert.
We got
For
state
how many
workers,
hundreds of
but
years?
you know,
Yeah, they don't even know how long.
yeah. Well, when you
They're
look at the, they know
crazy.
this.
Weird.
Back in
And they're all like
2012,
signals to
it was a
something.
huge
There's all these
concern
theories on what it is.
with what they were doing.
You have to see
Right,
them
so that's
above.
why when you have a lot of
See
my
it from above.
family and
Pilots
people that
would go
jumped
over there,
on
and
board in
somebody's like, "What's that?"
2010,
Oh,
you're
yeah,
just
we don't know,
totally
we just gotta
fucking
go over.
shocked.
Well, they found a bunch of
And
them
then when
now
you go
because of
back, you see
AI.
how we tried
they've,
telling
like,
them, and
scanned the
nobody
areas
wanted
and
to
found a bunch of
listen.
previously
Fucking
undiscovered Nazca
psychos.
lines.
Wow.
Sister Kelly's
Yeah.
crying about
And
how my
the
dad
weird
used to
thing
drink
about it,
and
that's
yell when
also
we
the
were
place where
kids.
they
Don't
find these
you
people with the
remember?
elongated skulls.
Yeah, Prozac.
They find like these
Fucking
weird
psychos.
skulls that have additional capacity. So they have like 30% more capacity, and they don't have the same lines in their skulls
I know, it's
that
like
we
I'm
have
literally...
like when we're babies. You know, we have these.
I know,
What are they
there's
called?
like
Sagittal. I forget what the lines are called. Sagittal. These lines that we have in our skull. You know, like your
so that
skull
was
is
a
not just
concern
one piece,
back even
right?
before
It's a bunch
the
of pieces that merge
investigators
together.
shot
off,
himself.
they get longer as a sign of
And
like.
isn't it
Yeah, but
interesting
some
that
of
him
these
and
skulls
David
don't
Wilcock,
have the
whom the
same
president
structure as
sent
ours. They're
slippers
human
to,
skulls, but
who
they're
works with
longer.
the History
they have more
Channel,
capacity.
who we told
The
you was
30%
involved with the
larger
drug
capacity,
investigations back in
and
the early
they
2000s
don't
after
have those
9/11.
lines that we
I know,
have.
it's like, we told
So it's like,
you.
what was that?
And now he
Were
killed
there different
himself
kinds of
the day
humans
before
back
Mom's
then?
birthday.
I know.
And Christopher
Were
the day
they
before
flying
their
around?
anniversary.
Were they
I mean,
flying
I've been
around
trying
and
to
making
tell
these
you
fucking
so
structures?
far.
Were they responsible for
So
Saxe
they
Bomon
commit suicide all
and
the
Machu
time.
Picchu
They
and all these
don't
other
really
places,
want to,
and they just died
because you can
off,
see
and all
a
we
lot of
have
them don't
left
have
is
a
like
fucking
some
choice
skulls
when
that we
people
can't
want to
totally
be immature,
explain?
nasty pieces
We don't have
of
the means
shit.
to explain it
Right,
yet.
because
And
if
protect
it was
fucking
20,000 years
drug
ago or 30,000 years
traffickers.
ago, whatever it was that these people
And
were
then
ruling back
justify
then,
it because it's
what would
family.
be left?
It's like,
Fucking
yeah,
nothing.
okay, I guess you missed
Nothing.
the point of
Very little.
law and order
I mean,
in our
look at
justice
Angkor Wat, where it's
system.
like,
If you don't want to
yeah,
abide
see
by
it,
that, that's
see it.
totally
It's shocking.
fine.
Any of it remained.
Yeah.
But you're not going to silence
Well,
people.
Angkor
They're gonna
Wat's
continue
crazy,
to
and how about
speak
the
out.
other one in
proper
India where the
authorities,
entire
believe
temple's
me,
carved
they're
out
on
of
their
one
way.
stone?
Or
Hopefully
the one
we can
in,
do it
in
peacefully.
Jordan.
We don't just get blown the fuck up. And I mean, we won't be here to know the difference.
fucking-
So.
What
Yeah,
is
you
those,
sick
like the
fuck.
Indiana Jones one?
I really hope
What's that
so.
called?
It's not a joke.
That's where I went with my brother.
Yeah, what is that called?
See,
What is it, Jimmy?
Petra. It's
Yeah.
it's nuts. You come through this canyon and it's just in a mountain, a
Yeah.
giant 3-story temple that is just carved out of the mountain. It wasn't added to.
Right, and where's the stone? Where'd you put the stones? What'd you do?
That view coming out of the middle one, coming out of that cavern and seeing it after about an hour hike.
That's crazy.
They didn't even. You have to see a human. See how small that person is in the middle.
That is
Yeah.
so crazy.
So like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Susan
that
Collins
was
secured
all right
$190
around that
million in federal funding for Maine's rural hospitals. These
Yes.
funds provide resources delivering increased and improved care that Mainers deserve. Susan Collins is a champion for all of Maine.
Is your heating equipment leaving you out in the cold?
Hey, good morning, sir. How's it going?
Get over
Right,
$2,500 in savings when you install new high-efficiency propane heating equipment with Dead River Company. Plus, lock
Well,
in
that's
3
like the
years of low
awareness
fixed
helps.
propane
People say
pricing
that. I mean, if you
and
think what
enjoy
we've had to go
expert
through all the
support from
bullshit
people
with
you
these
can
state
count on.
workers.
That's real
I
value,
don't remember the mental
real experience,
institutions. That was all
real
being
trust
documented what
earned
they were
over
doing when they were on and
generations.
off fly.
Get a
It's
free
also
estimate at
documented. Exactly the
deadriver.com.
post we made that morning, and I let the others know we'd be going in for a little bit.
Right.
So yeah, what they're doing over there, it's all been exposed.
Have you ever heard of Darren
People are
Queen?
very disturbed, right,
Turkey.
Mr. Bongino?
This is
Right.
crazy. You want to hear
So
this one?
hopefully,
Place or a person?
hopefully,
It's a place. So
it can happen
I
peacefully.
think they found this
not a
because
matter
someone
of
was
if, it
doing
is gonna
like
happen, but-
construction on a house.
Yeah, they might just blow
and
the
they
place
found
up. The whole
so
fucking
this is
house.
what it was. So a guy kept
Yeah.
losing his chickens. They would go through a hole and they would never come out. So this guy was like, well, where the fuck are these chickens going? So they broke down the wall to
Well, that's
figure out
what
where the
they
chickens
said.
go.
As you
And
can
they
see,
found an underground
Oh, even
city
Trump said, yeah, they're
that can
targeting
hold
places right within the
20,000
US.
people.
People don't fucking
with
care.
many,
They'll
many
continue to stay
levels.
silent, act like it's
Like
not fucking
full
happening.
levels
The sick fucking
into the
pigs that
ground.
they are. Choke on
It's
it.
fucking bananas.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Anthill.
I watched a documentary. Now you
Wow.
see, like we see the where you. Could you please go back to that one image with the houses? Yeah, like that. Like so, this guy, it was like behind a fucking wall in a house.
Yeah, just the fact
So
that
these
the
chickens
adults,
would go
you know, like a
into
lot of the
hole,
adults,
and
I mean,
they
people
would just
are
disappear.
looking
So it's like, where's my
upon
fucking
them, like,
chickens?
what the
So the
fuck
guy
is
starts
wrong with you?
digging around to try to figure out where the
Place
chickens
people
go, and they
do.
found this. And I want to say they found this in like the 20th century, like so
20, I think it was the 20s I just saw.
1920s.
Like 29.
Wow. So no, they forgot
No
about
one knew about it. Nobody knew who made it. There was no record of it, and
It's so big, and
It
it's
can
stayed.
house 20,000 people in there.
What was it for?
No one knows.
Right.
No one knows
No
when.
records.
No one knows who. No one knows nothing. There's other ones they found in China. They found this fucking insane one in China that also has no records. It's enormous. Like enormous caverns with giant columns. It's all carved out of the stone. They moved millions of tons of rocks out of there. No record. No one knows where the stone went.
I was staying with the Lacandons. Mayans, whatever. And we were on a hike, and there was this little like abandoned temple, just the size of this room. And so the guide was like, so now there's a tunnel in here to like the main temple. It's about 1.5 miles away, and there's a tunnel where you can go through it. It takes a couple hours to walk. And he goes, he did it with my brother once. He goes, I'll never go back. It's so frightening, and there's fucking pumas around, and you don't know.
Pumas in the tunnel.
Yeah, you're like, you can't see shit. He goes, it's a bad place, but it's this long underground tunnel that was made however long ago. What the
This is the
fuck?
one in China. So this is one of these caves in China. By the way, no record, no historical record of when it was created or who created it.
Wow. 23.
And this is another one that they found. In 1992 they found it. 4 farmers in Longyu found the caves and they drained the water from 5 small ponds in their village. The ponds turned out to be 5 large man-made caverns. Further investigation revealed 19 more caverns nearby. They've been determined to be more than 2,000 years old, and their construction is not recorded in any historical documents. Like, look how crazy. Please show some of those images.
Yeah, I was the only one on this page.
It's fucking bananas. So they're just guessing that it's 2,000 years old. They don't know.
Right. They're just like,
Because there's no record. There's no record of it. But it's bananas.
So
and they've also, those carvings, they think are post...
later people came in.
Post-discovery.
Yeah. That's their way of doing.
Yeah, because you see how, like, those lines on the walls, that's how everything looks. It's just those carved straight lines. It looks like the other stuff was, like, more modern. That they
think
carved
those lines are so that the erosion wouldn't hurt it as much.
I don't know. I mean,
How long
that
has
might
that
have been
been
how
like
they
that?
did it. They might have had some sort of a device that they carved the stone out with. But the thing is, it's like,
Where's this on a map?
Oh, you think it's a fucking joke? It's not a fucking joke. And no one's above the law.
There's a lot of China.
And if you think
There's
you're being
a lot of places in there
disrespected
that I'm like,
because
don't
we're
know
speaking the
about.
truth and you don't want to hear it,
China's
so
so
sorry.
big.
It's gonna come knocking at your
Keep
door,
going back.
and your door, and your door, and your door, and it's gonna keep fucking knocking. It's called the truth.
Oh my
We have
God,
kids
that's
here that are in the
pretty
hands
deep
of
in
these sick fucking
luck.
punks that have been
Good luck.
tortured and fucked.
Took a train
And
to
so
Wuhan,
have many
catch a
others.
bug.
And if you people want to keep turning your heads to that and try to tell us enough's
It's like
enough
leprosy.
for us
Armadillo
speaking up for
pangolin.
these kids that no one else seems to want to
Go
speak
back
up
to the
for,
images,
and
please.
just keep pushing their fucking drugs and bullshit and lies and delusions upon them, trying to say that good people speaking the truth are crazy and delusional and gonna make them eat maggots. Yeah, grow the fuck up. Hopefully the proper authorities here in Augusta, Maine do what they're supposed to do. That's what we have these systems in place for, folks. To protect the children, not coddle each other's fucking nasty addictions and crimes so we can fucking pat our own pockets and cover up for our friends' fucking nasty shit. You sick fucks. We're in Augusta, Maine. You know the story. Much love, health, and peace all.